So welcome back to my channel again, and I was discussing in the previous video about relational database querying with SQL, this topic, and the remaining questions I shall discuss in this video. And so up to question 5 according to my slide is this was discussed in the previous video, and today we shall start with this question. It came in 2019. The question is like that. A relational database contains two tables, student and performance, as shown below. I have written in the right side. So the student and performance tables are there. You can see the primary keys of the student table is roll number for the performance table. The column roll number and subject code together form the primary key in the performance table. Consider the SQL query given below. Select s.student name, sum p.marks. Okay. So some function is there, and that's why it is associated with a group by statement is dot student name from student S performance P P dot marks equal greater than 84. So as a basic understanding of SQL in DBMS, this is a very, it looks like a very simple query, and the answer may be obvious to some person if they don't think. Sometimes the get question is to make you confused about the answer about the question sometimes. It is a confusing question and you have to give very intelligently and you have to think about it. Sometimes this kind of questions are there. This is one type of them, and the questions, the main thing is here the student A's and performance P, these two tables are given as with a comma operator is there. So whether the join is natural join, that is the common attribute value will be same. The common attribute is roll number. No, it's not natural join, and there is no equalize statement for the roll number equalization between these two tables. So basically, it is a cross product between these two tables. Okay, basically it is a cross product between these two tables. So this 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 rows will be common, will be generated when they will be joined. Roll number, student name, then again roll number, subject code, and marks. These 5 attributes will be there, the result. And for each and every student, for example, roll number 1, student name is Amit. All the 6 rows will be generated for this one. Similarly for this one, similarly for the others. So total entries in the resultant table will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 6. That is 30 entries will be there. This is the trick here, and this is the confusion here. People may understand that the natural join or the equalization statement is not there after this condition. So whenever they will be joined like this, uh, the number of rows returned by the SQL query, that is the requirement, and whenever they will be joined like this, what will happen? So the explanation is that the join is not natural join as it is that I have told already. Second bullet, hence for each student row, all the performance rows will be generated except the last row of the performance table for mark is 80 less than 84. This is a very important observation here that whenever we make a cross product here, uh, for each and every student, all the marks are there. And all the marks, if you see, all are greater than 84 except the last one. Okay, except the last one. So if I make a, the question is that summation. So if I make a summation of all the marks, it will be 452, I think. And now the sum of the marks of each student is same, that is 452. Okay. Maybe the significance or semantics of the query is totally wrong, but as per the questions we have to give the answer. So the sum of the marks of the student is same, that is 452, and this how many rows will be returned? The rows obviously will be returned 5. Okay, because for each and every student, all the 5 marks are there, and the sum of them is 452. So all the 5 rows will be written, and the answer will be 5. Very interesting question and very confusing sometimes for some student who easily assume something that it will be a natural join. No, sometimes it is a cross product. Okay? If the condition is not given, the equalized condition. Okay, so in this question, the question is given with a table. So consider the following database table named water schemes. Okay, the number of tuples written by the following SQL query is with total, and in the bracket name capacity as some query, select district name, some capacity from water schemes, group by district name. So we have been given only one table, and now a rename operator is there. Okay, with total name capacity as the rename operator alias, and the query will return the same attribute name and capacity here. Obviously some operations like sum is here. Then again another rename operator, that is, and the table name is total AVG, average capacity, only one attribute as select AVG capacity from total, and then the main query select name from total underscore AVG total dot capacity greater than total underscore AVG dot capacity. Okay. So before going to the main table, because if you go to the main query, you see the relation names are total and total AB underscore ABG. Okay, from where it comes? And relation name actually what it seems. So this total comes from the first rename operator, rename result, and total underscore ABG comes from the second rename result. Okay, so first we have to consider this one, then second we have to consider this one. We have to create the tables, and then we can give the answer of the main query. The number of tuples returned by the following SQL query is. This is the question. Okay. Now the explanation we have to go first. Okay, in this case. So what are the table names here for the first rename, after first rename of person total, and then total underscore ABG. And in this total, name is there and capacity is there, but the capacity is here the sum of the capacity and group by district name. Okay, so district sometimes repeated. For example, Ajmer is single. Okay, Bikaner is repeated 3 times, Churu is repeated 2 times, and Dungargarh is single. Okay, entry. So if we sum up the capacities, for example, Ajmer 20 single entry, Bikaner 10 plus 10 plus 20, that is 40, and Churu 2 times 20 plus 20 30, Dungargarh 10 single entry. Okay, this is the first rename after rename operations. This is the table. After second rename operation, the table is look like this. Why? Because it is averaging on the capacity from total. Okay, so from the total table, it is creating the second table. So it is averaging. Okay, and the capacity is average of this capacity. So 20 plus 40, 60 plus 30, 90 plus 110, 100, and how many entries are there? 4. So 100 by 4 equals to 25. So this is the second table significance. Now using this two table, great. So now we have to concentrate on the main query, that is select name from total underscore ABG, total capacity greater than total ABG dot capacity. Okay. So both have the same attributes, capacity here and it is here. So we have to fetch the name that is this one, which has the capacity greater than the average, that is 25. So 20 is less than, 40 is greater than, 30 is greater than, and 10 is less than. So these two entries are satisfying the conditions, and these two will be returned, and so the answer will be B2 as per the explanation is same as I have told. So the answer will be 2. So we can go to the next question. Okay, so the question is, consider the following relation. There are two relational table. One is student, another one is performance. In the student, roll number and student name are there. Performance, three attributes are there: roll number, course, and marks. The common attribute between them is roll number, as per the table names, attribute names. And the following SQL query, SQL is select s dot student name, sum p dot marks from student s, performance p, where s dot roll number equals to p dot roll number, group by s dot student name. Now, this group by statement is associated with the sum, and the uh, neighboring attribute of the sum is s dot student name. That is the in the result. So basically, the query asks for each and every distinct student, uh, we have to get the sum of their marks. For example, student name is Raj, Rohit, and Raj. So we have two distinct names. Yes, two distinct names. One is Raj, and another one is Rohit. Although another student name is Raj, there maybe he is a different one, as the roll number is different, but the names are same. So we can assume this group by student name will be applied for both the Raj in the same one. Okay. So the now, uh, if we join them, because the join condition is dot roll number equals to p dot roll number, it is obvious that is the common attribute, and we have to equalize them. Now for Raj, our roll number is 1, the subject name is mathematics and English, and for another Raj, our roll number is 3, the subject name is English and math. Maybe the subject names are same, but they will be treated as the same because the names are distinct, only one. Similarly, for roll number 2, Rohit, the two subjects are there, math and physics. We have to sum them. Okay? And what will happen? The For Raj and Rohit, for two students, the sum of the marks will be written. So ultimately, two rows will be written, and the answer will be 2. The explanation is same. The key observation is here: student table has two entries with the same name. Now, when join student and performance table by roll number 3, roll numbers, tables by roll numbers, 3 roll numbers can be considered, but group by statement by student name will consider two distinct names, only Raj and Rohit. So, total number of rows will be 2, and the answer is 2. Next question. So, in this question, it's a little bit complex question, came in 2014. The question says that SQL allows duplicate tuples in relations and correspondingly defines the multiplicity of tuples in the result of joins. Which one of the following queries always gives the same answer as the nested queries shown below? The nested query is like that: select star from R where A in some inner query, select S dot A from S. So obviously, according to the question, there are two relations. One is R, another one is S, and there is a common attribute between them is A. And we have to select some rows from R where the value of A attribute must belong to the value of A attribute of S. if any value of S attribute, A attribute in S is not equal to the value of that row selected or considered of relation R, we shall not print that row. This is the thing. Now the thing is, there are a lot of options they have given. First A, B, C and D, but we have to carefully observe what is given in the options. I give an explanation. First, we have to think about what is given in the question. Select those rows of R where R dot A matches at least one value of S dot A. Obviously, when you are using an int statement which returns only one copy of the row from R, and then it is not a join, first of all. Okay. The question is, there is an int statement, and this subquery will return a set, and it is checking this statement A in is checking whether the value of A is in this subset, a sorry set. If it is not, it will not be considered to be printed. If it is equal, then only at least in one A value in S. Okay. Now we have to consider all the options. If we understand clearly the question, then we can go for the options. First A, select R dot star from RS or R dot A equals to S dot A. So it is basically a natural join between R and S where the common attribute is A. Okay. Now and selection is that R dot star. So we are selecting only the attributes of R only, not S. Okay. Okay. So here, very important thing is that suppose the relation S has duplicate attribute values of A. That is, in two rows of S relation, the A value is same. Okay. Now we are making a natural join. Okay. So for each and every uh, R dot star, that is for each and every row of R dot star, we are checking. So two matches are there. Suppose maybe three or four. Two matches are there. But this both the matches R dot star will be printed. You understand? As per the first line given. If you read clearly, you will understand that for both the matches, R rows, the row of R, the same row, will be printed. That's why it is written. First, the natural join will happen, and then the rows of attributes corresponding to R will be returned. So in A, duplicate rows exist in S for A. The rows of R will also repeat. So it is not correct, first of all. Secondly, B, select distinct R dot star from RS where R dot A equals to S dot A. Now here the main difference from option A is distinct keyword. Okay. So due to this distinct keyword, the duplicate rows of R may be deleted, but if duplicate rows exist in R, that will not be printed. So it is also wrong. C is correct if you clearly see, and D, the unique keyword is not in exist in SQL. So that's why it is also incorrect. So up to this we have prepared the next thing, and the next questions will be discussed in the next video.